Good evening. I'm going to call this meeting of the Planning and Zoning Board to order. It's Tuesday, November 18th. Can we have a call roll, please?
Member Wills? Here. Member Morrill?
Here.
Member Miller?
Here.
Member Marshall?
Present.
Member Gamez?
Present.
Member Kopka?
Present.
And Member Pipel.
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum.
All right, before we get started, do we need to swear in Mr. Copton?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do I have it? No. No. I'm sorry, I do not. I wasn't sure that he was coming either.
Okay.
And this is my first new one. So.
That's your procedure, not mine.
Just swear him in like what? Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Yeah, that's what I have. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Government of the United States and the State of Florida, that I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state, and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of the Planning and Zoning Board on which I am now about to enter. So help me God.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board, you have before you the minutes of the October 14th meeting. Everybody had a chance to look at those. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll second. Or, I'm sorry.
You gonna make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the minutes. Call the roll.
Member Wills? Member Morrill?
Yes.
Member Miller?
Yes.
Member Marshall?
Yes.
Member Gamez?
Yes.
Member Kopka?
All right, tonight we have 3 public hearing items. The first one's going to be an applicant initiated request to amend the zoning map for one parcel of land on 200 Hatcher Avenue. I will open the public hearing and let Central Florida Regional Planning present to us.
Okay. Well, good evening, members. My name is Stephanie Von Pileski-Bush with the Central Florida Regional Planning Council. And as you just heard, this is a rezoning at 200 Hatcher Avenue. The applicants and owners are Carlos Garcia and Karina Franco. And the total parcel is 0.68 acres. But the area to be rezoned is 0.46 acres, and I'll explain that in just a second. So the address is 200 Hatcher Avenue, and they want to amend the residential portion of this property to industrial. So if you go to the next slide. So this is the existing future land use. You can see the whole area on the east side of Memorial, I think, is industrial. And to the north is the school. The blue area is the school. So on the next slide, this is the existing zoning. And you can see it in this, who knows why this happened the way it did. It may have been a mistake on the maps a long time ago when these maps were done, or I don't know. There's really no way to know why it is the way it is. But so this black square is the 0.46 acres that's residential. The entire parcel includes the tiny little sliver of industrial, the I-2, that's just to the north of the black square. So that's the entire parcel, which is 0.68 acres. And then on the next slide, you can see, so this is so the proposal is to change the entire parcel to I-2, which will match the current future land use and the areas to the east. And then on the next slide, so the background, so the subject parcel is currently zoned R1 and I2, and the request is to zone the entire parcel to I2 to align with the neighboring parcels to the east. And then the next slide, so it's consistent with the comprehensive plan. It's consistent with the existing future land use. The change is compatible with the area surrounding to the east. And then the other properties, again, as I said, are zoned I2, and then the future land use is industrial. And the next slide. Okay. So water and sewer is available, so there'll be minimal traffic impact on the surrounding roads. And then the addition of the industrial zoning, no real negative impacts are proposed. The lot is really small. So it's not like they're building, gas tanks there or whatever. So on the next slide, and so here are your motion options. And again, I'm here to answer questions if you have any. The applicant was supposed to zoom in. I'm not sure they did or not. They don't live in town.
So
Anyway.
this piece of property has a split zoning?
It does. And again, like I said, we don't know why that happened. Sometimes it's a little tiny on the map. So the Regional Planning Council is working so these maps right now are all, this is just an aside. The maps are all static right now, just a piece of paper, but the Regional Planning Council is working to make these maps digital, so it'll be easier to see and, to maybe even correct situations like this in the future if necessary.
Well,
So,
if you look at the aerial photo on the county website, that piece of property actually extends across the road into the ball field.
it does, yeah. It's a weird parcel.
Okay.
So is it truly separated like that, or is it one parcel?
It's one parcel. It just encompasses the road in that little tiny triangle on the other side of the road. And again, that may have been that may be also possibly a mistake at the property appraisers. I don't know.
Oh, right. That could be a map overlay issue too.
Yeah, exactly. But what we're looking at is just the fact that the zoning the parcel has two zonings.
Right.
So
Does anybody have any questions?
So looking at that map, there's a residence to the south, just south on Elder Black Street. What type of distance are we talking from that property into that proposed I-2? Now, I guess I'm asking from the standpoint of if you rezone that to industrial, okay, is it going to be used for parking? Are they going to erect a building where there's banging and clanging and the homeowners that are there? Because I know at some point you have to have some type of noise decibel from a certain distance.
right, exactly. So I did speak to the property owner, and again, I was hoping she would zoom in, but anyway, oh, they are. Oh, they're here. They made it. Okay, good. So I'm going to let her
Sure.
answer those questions.
Absolutely. Just state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, of course. Good evening. My name is Karina Franco. You want the address of the property?
That's fine.
The 200 Hatcher Street. So basically, when I was talking with Miss Stephanie yesterday, we well, you were worried about the noise. There's already oh, there was a map in industrial. It was just
Sure. No, I'm familiar with it.
yeah. Oh, okay. And we were we are real estate investors, so we buy and then resell. Another thing it's a lot of possibilities within industrial that we want to do, but for now it's reseller. I have customers with a legitimate business that want to expand. The business is not, it's maybe possibly for parking. I have one. It's just parking and everything, but we still figure out, we just might resell it, or if we have it all rezoned, we can have like a warehouse or something. But for now, we just want to have the zoning correctly in order to do anything
No, and
in the future.
I see your side of it. I understand that. My worry is, okay, you're a real estate investor. This is rezoned today. You sell it tomorrow. Now the guy that buys it from you, the person that buys it from you, sets up a warehouse. Now they're pulling transmissions at 3 a.m. and the homeowners that live in that area have to deal with some of the noise that comes from it. I mean, they're already dealing with what's there around them. I get it, but
Distance is a little greater. on the side.
exactly. I mean,
Yeah, and like you can see in the well, and that one shows all I-2 already when we purchased it. Oh, thank you. And the two bottom, it shows in our system like all the great area, all I-2. So there's already in business industrials
Sure.
connected, and I noticed they were already parking big trucks already there before, or whoever we saw. It was not ours, but it was already there for years, and looks like they were just there, and it was overgrown. All the looking bad, like overgrown grass, and we just went and cut it and maintained it and taken care. But of course, we will go over the county or code of compliance, because we talk about that also with the code of compliance. What you can do, what is the purpose, and that's why if we got it coded correctly, they will follow the rules not to disturb the residentials in that area, because that's the reason we want to rezone, because it's like one part and the street, which it was already easement for the property. And well, my husband maybe want to explain it better than me. Yes.
Hi, I'm Carlos. I'm the other owner. What you mentioned about the noise and everything, you already have all that. And the section that we change is about 50 feet from the I-2, so it's not like all the neighbors are exempt of the noise. All that area is already, it's not like we want to change something that is not already there. We just want to expand a little bit. And also we have in the neighbor that already lives here, there's an aisle. So there is a space, like more than the width of the street. An aisle is called an aisle. But actually, that area needs to be cleaned because it's full of trash and pieces of boats, and there is a lot of chunk of concrete. And I've been cleaning all that area, but that's another thing. But it's basically that. It's just extend a little section of what already exists. I think if someone put something that makes noise, these people right here, they can make noise also. It's all this section noise because it's heavy industrial. All that area already is heavy industrial. We just need to extend just a little bit so we can do something with it, because in one parcel you have a section that is industrial, the other section is residential. We don't kind of like, we want to do something, and we prefer industrial because we have a lot of possibilities. And also she has lined up a couple of customers that already they want to expand their businesses. This one from Fort Lauderdale, he wants to come to Avon Park because over there the prices are crazy. Another one from Tampa, he wants to come this area to expand his business because this area is it's more affordable than other of those metropolis. Thank you.
So why not change the zoning completely to R1 then? Because the bulk of that lot is already R1. And you're just talking about that little piece. Why not just change it from I2 to R1?
And public record, it says industrial I2.
Right.
Yeah.
But why not change the whole property to R1? Why go to I2?
Because for us, we have people interested in doing businesses, no houses.
Okay.
We do more industrial than residential.
Okay.
There is a lot of land that is residential, and in this county, in this city, there's just a little. It's a very small section of industrial too. So, it will increase businesses for the community, create more jobs and more taxes for the county. It's just my point of view.
Right.
In my ignorance, I think it's better for.
I think the concern, at least that I have, is just the distance. That you're getting a lot closer to these houses than this other building sitting on this other property is. When you start wrapping it around there, now you're only, say, probably 50 feet away from that house versus this building that's probably 150 or to 200 feet away from that building. If you go back to the aerial map, you can see what I'm talking about. There. It gets a lot closer to those homes. If I was that guy living right across Elder Black Street and somebody built a industrial building right across the street from me, I know it's not a developed road, but we're still only talking probably a 50-foot right away.
Part with a highlighter in the top.
Mhm.
All that is industrial already.
Well,
And-
I think it goes back to Jason's point
Oh.
is that why not just change that to the
Because if
R1?
now we need to build a house and it's very limited, it's just we already checked with the county what the R1 does, and it's like you cannot do a lot of things. Oh,
Yeah, when we saw in the record, we saw I2 industrial heavy, and I said, well, this is what we need, and we went for it, and then we did more research, and we went to speak with the professionals, and they said, hey, wait a minute, there's some discrepancies here. It's not all the land it's not all what you think it is. Just we suggest you and blah 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 to do this, okay? Because what we need is industrial. But if everybody else decides that that's not the way to go, we respect that, and we are going to go because it's for us it's business, but we understand that there's people living in there.
Sure.
We completely understand that, but we are here as business people. And the last word is yours. Okay, thank you.
Anybody have any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'll close the public hearing.
Anybody?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes, my name is Brenda Gray. I live at 410 East Lakeview Drive. I have I'm speaking for my brother Stephen Gray, who's back there. He lives in that area. It's 218 East Williams Gray Court, and we are here. Ask all the community to come because we're in opposed of changing the zoning to heavy industrial, and we understand that this it already is light industry there, and we understand that we deal with that noise, but to make it heavy industry will be ridiculous. So, and then that would take the property value down. So we're here to ask you all not to change the zoning. And if, like you said earlier, sir, why not make it residential R1 instead of I2? So my request is you all not to approve this request, considering the community that lives there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening, and my name is Shirley Johnson, and I live at 202 Williams Gray Court. So I too live in that area, and I totally am against this becoming industrial. I mean, from the noise to the messing up of the streets because the pavement. We have a school right across. The children catch the bus there, and you're talking about industrial. You're talking about things that, like you said, if you turn it into a 2, you can sell that, and someone can put anything they want on that. It affects the people that are living there, like me, like my sister. We're all from this area. This is our home. This is where we grew up at, and we still live there. Yes, we do have the old crepe mill there. Yeah, we have ABC. They're not that noisy, but you don't know what's going to happen if you sell that and make that into an industrial or commercial area. I am totally against it. And I'll stick with it all the way till I die. I'm against that. I think that we could do it R1. Do it single family. They can sell it for single family houses. Come on. They don't live there. Don't keep bringing mess in our neighborhood. We're trying to clean up our neighborhood over there. And if you all get in your vehicles and ride over there, you'll see we care about where we live. We've been there all our lives. Most of us are over 70 years old, and we were raised and born there. And I'm sorry about getting so passionate. Sometimes I get like that. So I'm going to calm myself down. Okay. Yeah, I'm coming down. But I'm going to back up and punt. I just want to tell you, just go on record. I disagree with it. They're the owners. I get it. But you guys make a decision. But I think that turning this into residential is totally wrong. It's totally wrong. And the residents are the people that live there, industries, whatever they're trying to do. Commercial, whatever they're trying to do, they can do it with the R1. God bless y'all. That's it. I might get it too fast.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
my niece. She lives
Yes.
over there.
My name is Maria Williams, and I reside at 810 South Lotila here in Avon Park. Now, our grandparents, see, this is like all family. We're not just neighbors, we're family, and our family homes are still there, and they're still being occupied by family. Whether it's your brother, whether it's your aunt, whether it's your mother, they're still there, okay? And it's very concerning. First, it's because that very corner, I know that they're not from here, they don't live here, I don't assume, because that very corner is where the children catch the bus. So if you take that area and you make that industrial, like they said, they're here to make money. This is a business for them. This is life for us. And our children standing at that bus stop. Can you imagine your children at that bus stop and there's some industrial building there? And we all know, if you've ever been to Atlanta and you see the industrial areas there in the different places, you know sometimes what people come over there and what happens. So do we want to put our children at risk? And then we have the school across the street. Do we want to put those children at risk? And that's concerning. And it's also concerning that what happens when this company comes and it's this big industrial building. They're manufacturing materials that could be hazardous to our health. That's another issue. So it's not about just business. You have to look at every aspect. And how does this really affect the people? How is this going to affect the children? How is it going to affect this community in the long run? So when you're voting on it, I pray that you would take all of this into consideration and not let this be about money and the city making more on taxes and bringing more income for more jobs. Because really, let's be honest, it's not going to bring that many more jobs. The crepe mill, my grandma, my mom, my aunts, our family worked there. They worked 30, 40 years there. This company that's there now, they have their own people, their own truckers. It didn't bring more jobs to our community. What it did bring is a bunch of trash, old trucks, old tires. It brought a boat, a trailer that has nothing to do with the business part of it. And you know what else it brought? A bunch of roads that are damaged from those trucks that now the city has to spend money to repair. So the other businesses come in that area, you don't know what they're coming. You know what you're not going to be able to change that. You don't know what they're going to bring. And I agree with you, sir. Why not just change it to residential? We all buy property, and we all get what comes with that property. So thank you for your time. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take your time.
Good evening. The parcel of land that they are talking about.
Can you state your name and address, please?
Okay, Alice Paisley. I live at 1431 Williams Gray Court, Avon Park, Florida. And this parcel of land that they are talking about changing the zoning to is already residential. I live next door to that parcel of property. The business that they gonna sell it to is behind me, and I'm already in a fight with them because they've dumped garbage and everything into my backyard. I don't want to fight with them because they dumping garbage onto the side of my yard. But other than that, there's a bus stop, an elementary school bus stop on the corner of Hatcher and Williams Gray. There's a school right across the street from this parcel of land. This parcel of land needs to stay residential. They are destroying our neighborhood. I've been living there for 45 years in the same house. I'm not ready to leave it, and I'm not ready to look out my bedroom window and see semi-trucks parked all the way across. So please leave it as residential. If they want to build on it, put a home on it or make a playground. But please keep it residential. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Eleanor Brown. I too was raised in that neighborhood. My mom resided at 1435 Williams Gray Court. She literally passed away in the front yard this June, took her last breath. So it goes without question. I'm definitely in opposition to this rezoning. My mom worked tirelessly to pay for that property. And if something happens and you rezone this, from what I understood, we will not be able to rebuild that home. That home is my life. That's where I grew up. My brothers, my sisters, we all grew up there, as well as all of my neighbors here. I live right beside Miss Alice. So it means the world to me. That property is priceless. I was traumatized by looking at that. That woman worked hard. 82 years. Good citizen. Tax-paying citizen. I'm her heir. I'm taking care of that property. All you got to do is drive by. We're making it happen over there. You may not see us all the time, but we do matter. We may not be big industry, but don't give big industry the pass to come through the city of charm to just say, we like this neighborhood, let's do our thing. I don't think that's what Avon Park is all about. We're supposed to be the city of charm. Let's not drop that C and cause harm. Let's not do it. Our children are going across the street to that school, which is now, if I'm not mistaken, that's historical now. So let's not tarnish that. I played up and down those roads, and I plan on staying there. I don't want to go anywhere, and I don't think any of my neighbors want to go anywhere either. We don't want to see big industry sitting at that corner. No disrespect to them, but I'm sorry. Take it someplace else. That's all we have. Our families worked hard. The grandmas, the aunties, the godmothers, the cousins, all of them. We did our due diligence. They worked for that. They deserve to keep that as residential. We ask that you do the right thing. Do not change that to industrial. You're going to cause harm. You're going to put those kids at risk that catch that bus. I watch them go out there and catch that bus. I watch them come home. We make sure they come home. I'm latchkey kid myself. I know how that is. I already have enough health problems. Some of us have it too. I don't need more. I'm standing in the gap for my mom. Remember that name, Rose Stevenson. It means something to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else have anything to add? Go ahead.
For the roadways, but I'm not entirely sure what you're asking. So, right. So it would depend on what they're doing, but due to the size of the parcel, and well, since we don't know exactly what is required, what will go there, at this point, a traffic study is not required. So at the time of site development approval, the city could decide to ask the applicant then to do a traffic study, depending on what they want to put there. But so that would be down the road a piece. No, not at this point. Not at this point. Not at this point.
That's it. Anybody else got anything? Now I'll close the public hearing again.
I see a lot of concern. I understand. I'm a human being also, not a business person only. Okay. In case, I don't know if it's doable for zoning. We are not in the residential area. All our contacts are industrial or commercial. Is it possible to, if it's not industrial, it's no. It could be commercial for businesses, storage, something that it don't make any noise. About the children, it's gonna be, the area is gonna be all fence around, and the traffic is gonna go to the industrial area. I know there's a school. I saw the stop bus over there with the kids and everything. I myself cleaning all the lot by hand. I see all the concerns from the citizens, but it's just that if it's not industrial, it could be commercial at least to get more groceries or people who is not making noises can put a small store, convenience store or something like that. Is there a possibility? Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for recognizing our concerns. And the only thing I want to say, again, my name is Maria Williams, is the point that he just brought up, can it be commercial and, something that doesn't make noise? He's an investor. He doesn't know what's coming. So once he gets his check, that's it. It's not his concern anymore what's coming. So whoever he sells it to, they can do what they want. So he can't say hey, do something that's going to be quiet. Doesn't work like that. We know that the world that we live in, money and business, the business they're trying to make. So you can't tell a buyer what to do and what not to do with their property.
Correct.
So please take it into consideration. We don't know what's coming, and he doesn't know who he's selling to. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna close the public hearing for the third time. Board, you have the recommendations before you. What's your pleasure with this?
I'll go ahead. I move the planning and zoning board forward the proposal rezoning to the city council with a recommendation of denial.
Motion been made and seconded. Can we call the roll?
Member Wills? Yes. Member Morrow?
Yes.
Member Miller?
Yes.
Member Marshall?
Yes.
Member Gamas?
Yes.
Member Copta?
Yes. All right, motion will be forwarded, or the proposed rezone will be forwarded to the city council for denial.
Okay, so your next case is a variance request at 1412 South Carolina. And so the applicant is Sarah Meyer with Dewberry Engineers, and the owner is Arnold Wilson, and the property is located at 1412 South Carolina, and it's 0.11 acres. So the applicant is requesting an approval of several variances, and I'll get into that in a minute because there's kind of a long list. And it's to rebuild a single-family house that was damaged during Hurricane Ian. And it's part of the Rebuild Florida program, where the state has given a grant to the property owner in order to rebuild their house that was damaged beyond repair during the hurricane. And then on the next slide, Melissa. There we go. Okay, so because the parcel is very small, there are 4 different variances that are being requested at this point. So the first variance is to allow, it's a variance of 10 feet to allow a setback of 15 feet in lieu of the required 25 feet along South Carolina. The second one is a variance of 9.48 feet to allow a rear setback of 10.52 feet in lieu of the required 20 feet. And then there's a variance of 8.04 feet to allow a side setback of 1.96 in lieu of the required 10 feet. And then there's a variance of 23 feet to allow a front yard setback of 2 feet in lieu of the required 25 feet. Now, the parcel's on a corner, which forces them to have basically 2 front yards instead of a front and a side. So this is what the parcel looks like right now. And as you can see in the yellow square, the house that's damaged, that's existing, that's damaged, is actually over the property line and into the right-of-way there. And then on the next slide, I've zoomed in on it. This just shows it a little bit more in detail. You can see the house is barely on the lot right now. And so the house will be torn down and then replaced on the lot. But as I said, it doesn't really, they need all these variances from the setbacks. So on the next slide, so the current zoning is the current future land use is low density residential, and the current zoning is R1A, and which allows single family residential units. And then on the next slide, so there's several criteria for granting variances. And so one of them is that there are unique and special circumstances or conditions that apply to the property. In this case, that it's very small. Any alleged hardship is not self-created by a person or interest. And then there's the strict application of the provisions of the code. So strict applications of the provisions of the code would deprive the applicant of reasonable use of the property for which the variance is being proposed. And then, so on the next slide, so there are your motion options. I'm not sure, is Sarah here? Oh, she's here. So if you have any questions, the engineer for this property is here to answer the questions.
All right, I'll open the public hearing for this zoning request, variance request. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes. Go ahead.
Are they rebuilding the exact same house, the same footprint? Are they proposing a new footprint?
Good evening, Sarah Meyer with Dewberry, 800 North Magnolia Avenue, Orlando, Florida. It can't exactly be the same footprint since we're shifting the house to be located on the actual property. And then Rebuild Florida has a set portfolio of house models that they use so that we can just, it's for efficiency, for time, and for financial efficiency, that we can just pick the most appropriate home based on the homeowner and the applicant to the program, and then the site constraints of the property to fit the best one there. So it will not be the exact same as the house that is currently there in the right of way. That was a long answer to probably a very straightforward question.
And you're requesting was it a 1 foot
Yeah.
setback on the front property line?
So that front that is basically 2 feet that we're asking to actual setback to be is because it's from that undeveloped vacant right of way on the south property line where the house is
that's the front
actually
you were talking
located
about?
right now. Yeah. So it's not a travel way that's being used as a road. It's not paved. It would effectually be like a side yard.
What's the variance request off the actual hard road?
On the road, I think we have a 15 off the front. Yes, we're asking for a variance of 10 feet, so we'll have 15 feet remaining as a front yard setback. The zoning requirement is 25. And this lot was platted in, I believe, 1940, well before the zoning standards were even established, and I think the house was built about the same time, so time just moved on from this house.
Yes.
Somebody in the online that's got their hand raised, maybe have a question.
Where you want to get your battery from?
Okay, whoever's online, go ahead.
Oh, that's where you want to take it at?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Pastor William Reed. I'm the pastor of Antioch Church of God in Christ that is located right there. I know and understand of the requests that they're requesting. The property to the corner of Ernie Sims and South Carolina that is right next to the home, we own that property. And we're going to ask that this variance be denied due to the overflow parking that we usually have for some of our events that we have, and overflow parking that we have usually on Sundays, as well as other things that we host throughout the year when we use that particular property right there, which would interfere with some of the things that we have planned as well in the future for that particular property. So we're going to ask that variance be denied on this particular situation. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Well, he answered my question, so I was getting ready to ask who owns that piece of property to the north.
That's what I was going to ask.
May I offer a rebuttal to that?
Sure.
I'm not sure how it would interfere. We're maintaining at least a 2-foot separation from that north property line, and if it's used for parking, there's no structures there. I believe it's vacant. We're not encroaching onto their property at all, so I'm not sure how it would interrupt with their operations, if I may.
Right, if anything, they're encroaching on this property by parking there.
Right.
Possibly. There could be possibly parking on his existing property. I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah, because obviously by the map, the house is barely on the lot.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions?
I'm sorry, it's me again, the pastor of Antioch. Are we speaking of the property at East Ernie Sims and South Carolina?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that particular property was just surveyed recently, and it was a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, probably very, very close. If we look at it, I do have pictures. I'm sorry I'm not able to be there because I had a family emergency. I had a death in my family on today, so I wasn't able to make it to the meeting tonight. But we do have pictures where they staked it out for that particular property that we own, which is that corner property at Ernie Sims and Carolina.
So the property in question, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Correct that you own the property on the corner, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the property that we're requesting the variance for is the property to the south of your corner property. So we're not asking for any approval on your property that's located on the corner of Carolina and
Sims.
Ernie
correct.
Sims. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Thank
Okay,
you.
no problem. I'm just glad we were able to clarify that for you.
Yeah.
I was looking for the square footage. 1,092 square feet conditioned, air conditioned.
What's the size of the lot? What's the property dimensions?
0.11 acres.
What do you know the dimensions?
Oh, 32 and a half is the front on Carolina, South Carolina. And I think it's 75 feet deep. I mean, so the 25-foot front setback from the undeveloped right-of-way to the south actually overlaps the side setback from the north. There is literally zero buildable area based on the current zoning standards.
Right.
It's in the negative.
May I add something? Could you
Sure, go
repeat
ahead.
again? I'm Randy LaBelle, Community Standards Director. Could you, the size of the minimum size of the lot under air again is what?
Unless there's
You
an
said
error.
1092, right?
I thought it was 1,092 air conditioned.
I believe for an R1 lot, minimum building size and for our code is 1,100 square feet. So
So-
if you sought a variance for the size of the structure that's going on the lot,
So the gross area of the structure is 1221. Does that meet your?
it has to be under air,
It has to be
not
under air.
including porches, not including garages.
Okay. Would it be possible to amend the motions to include a variance for square footage?
I think that would have to be part of it because if it's not, we're going against our current zoning
Yeah, we would have to add
standards.
that to the motion.
So that would have to be a variance request.
If that's something you guys would entertain, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, we could add that to the. Depending on how we vote, we could add that as changes to the.
Correct. Right. Understood.
So what you're asking for as far as the variance, looking at the same map, it's not going to encroach to any of the property to the north. Is it going to encroach that small rectangle piece to the, well, no, to the west of it though? There's a small,
No, sir. The
No.
structure will remain on.
everything you're
The
asking for,
property.
you want to come south.
We're just asking to reduce the setbacks from the property
Correct.
lines. Yes.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I get all that, but I just want to make sure again, because if I was the owner of the land to the north or to the left of it,
Mhm.
that's where I would have an issue with it. To the south, if that is just an easement, which i.e. is owned by the city, that's what you guys are trying to ask for on today.
Correct. But we're not asking to do anything on anybody else's property.
Okay.
We're
Right,
just
so the actual
reducing
lot
the
size is-
separation.
2,437 square feet. So half of that's going to be the structure.
I believe so.
Can I add something?
Sure.
I was under the impression this was R1. I was just being told, showing on the map, it's actually R1A. That requires 1,200 minimum square feet under air, not 1,100.
Okay.
So that's going to be more than just 8 feet. It's going to be 108 feet variance. But not that I'm not saying that that's significant, but for the record, I don't want it to seem like we're going against our own code.
No.
So 108 square feet variance on the minimum square footage required for structure. Okay.
Is this the smallest size house that the program offers, or is there something else they can pick out?
This is it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, narrow on slab. I mean, they do have a shotgun version, but we really try to steer away from that. I think based on the shortness of the depth, we would still be here asking for variances. We didn't have a product that actually fit without requiring us to come to you.
But
tonight.
what about square footage wise?
I don't know if the shotgun has a 2-bath. I apologize. I don't have all that information, but we do have a team that goes through and tries to, like I said, pick the best model based on the site constraints and the needs of the applicant.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. LaBelle, do we have a requirement on impervious?
Yeah, that was just that's also brought up. So depending on the zoning, and again, I don't have my table with me and I wasn't consulting on this, but not that I needed to be, but yeah, certain, I think R1 is 30% of the lot max intensity. I believe R1A, we're trying to find it in our code right now. I think it's 35%. This is almost 50%, which would not be allowable under current code. So once we try to figure this out just using our internet, then I'll be able to give you without walking back to my office. Actually, I can walk out to my work truck real quick. I have them out there. I can come right back with an answer if you want it.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah, that's good.
Unless she's got it.
I don't have the requirement. I just have what's on my plan sheet, which appears to be 29.51% ISR, but I can understand how it might look like more than that on the plan.
I've got it. Okay, so this being R1A, so minimum lot size is 10,000 square feet. Obviously, you're going to have to need a variance on that. Maximum lot width is 65 feet. I'm sorry. Yes, 65 feet. You don't have that. Minimum house, which I was correct, 1,200 square feet. You're 25 front setback, 20 rear, 10 side, and your max coverage is 30%.
Yeah, so you're already over.
So you're over the 30% as well.
Right.
So again, there can be variance, but these are all issues that need to be addressed per our current code, not when it was built, obviously.
So we don't meet the minimum lot width or lot size, but I was understood that this was a lot of record, so we didn't have to meet that. Like we didn't specifically need a variance for those
Okay,
items.
that would be Central Florida's purview.
Okay.
It's a non-conforming lot of record because it was created back before, as Sarah said, before any of the ordinances went into effect. So it kind of is what it is at this point. And to rebuild the house, the setback variances are going to be required, and then the impervious surface variance also, and the lot size. The house. The size of the living area, right? So you would just need to add those two things. But as far as the frontage and the lot size itself, it is a non-conforming lot of record, and that is recognized.
What would the city's requirements be to replace the home at where it sits as is? If you just replace it same size, can't do it. No.
Yeah.
Well, I thought there was grandfather rules in our code. No.
I would let Stephanie answer that, but I'm not aware of a grandfather.
Right. So the lot itself is legally non-conforming, but the structure, since it was destroyed in this case, can't be rebuilt the way it is. So there's two separate things there.
It would have to be built to current day.
The house
Yeah,
needs to be,
because it'd be more than a 50% remodel or
right,
something.
exactly.
Oh, okay.
So with all of the new findings, with the variances on the coverage, does notice have to be given to the residents around this same?
Change the motion.
But I mean, the residents around it don't need to have a chance to say yea or nay. have a chance to speak as to,
When they've already gotten notice?
well, I mean, with the coverage, I mean, they got notice on the variances, but not on the new, information for the coverage of the house and square footage.
Well, they've already been notified.
There is a requirement to notify the neighbors within 200 feet, and so those letters went out 10 days, at least 10 days ago.
Right.
So, but as far as making changes, I mean, as you can see on motion option number 2, you can make a motion with changes.
Anybody else got any questions?
Good evening. I have a question. I have my hand raised. I don't know. I'm the pastor of Antioch. My name is William Reed. We were informed of the setbacks as well as the variances, but we weren't notified of any other information that was going to be needed. And also the owner of that particular home, do we know where he's at? Because I have not seen him in almost over a month or so.
I'm not aware. All right, I'm gonna close the public hearing. All right, board, what's your pleasure with this?
Basically, this house is going to be right at the property line.
Pretty much.
But how far from the street? Yeah, how far from the street?
I think she answered. You said 15 feet
15
from the,
15 feet.
not from the road, but from the property line
Right.
on the front, like on the hard road side.
Yes.
Yeah, something like
Yes, 15 feet.
15 feet back from South Carolina.
From South Carolina.
Yeah.
A little bit more if you count from the edge of the road.
Yeah.
Can I offer one other thing from a code enforcement perspective?
Sure.
That very familiar with that property, and I think I can speak for some of the neighbors. I hope that I know I see around the room that don't live far from there. I believe the owner of the property is very well known in the area. So any improvement that can be made to that property is going to be a positive.
Absolutely.
Whether it's I'm just speaking on a code enforcement perspective, which, whether I'm part of the city, but we've written this house up numerous times, and it is an eyesore. And I think if if you were able to go in there and rebuild it, if they have a great program that's willing to step in and rebuild this house, it's not just going to be beneficial for Mr. Wilson. It's going to be beneficial for everybody that resides in that area. So I hope I understand I bring that stuff up just for record, not that it needs to be a mechanism to deny this. I just want it as a record. And I personally think it would be a great advantage to the neighborhood to allow this to happen from a code enforcement perspective. So that's all I want to put on the record.
All right, thank you, Randy.
Will it be the same owner? Same owner is going to own the new house?
Okay.
Yes, it is, and I think Miss Gray would like to
Somebody
speak.
getting a new house.
Right. Basically. Yes, ma'am.
Brenda Gray, 410 East Lakeview Drive, Avon Park, Florida. I live not too far from this house, and I'm trying to picture this. The house will be back a little bit from the road, 15 feet from the road, and it will not be on the property to the right or property to the left or the property in the back. Is that correct? It will be sitting on their property.
On their property. Yes.
Very good. And with that being, because my mind was going everywhere. That being said, I agree with LaBelle that, hey, look, if we can improve the neighborhood, that would be wonderful. The lots over there are small anyway. They're extremely small. I think they just throw them up wherever they want to put a house and just put them there. And now it's hard to get it zoned the right way. So if you all will approve this, we would appreciate it very much from the community. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening again. I'm Shirley Johnson, 202 Williams Gray Court, Avon Park, Florida. Mr. Wilson probably didn't know about this, but he's home. He got home yesterday. So, Mr. LaBelle, you probably, and I'm sure you know him. Okay, he is home. He got home yesterday. Okay.
All right, thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
I believe due to the size of the lot, I would move the planning and zoning board to approve the resolution.
I'll second.
With changes. Yes, with
Oh,
changes.
sorry, with the changes that we discussed.
Do we need to detail all those changes? Okay. So we need to add the changes of the square footage
The impervious area.
and the impervious area.
So it would be a variance of this house size of 108 square feet, and then an impervious surface ratio of up to 50%. In addition to the other 4 items.
Yeah.
Okay. Or maybe up to you could say up to 60%, just in case.
Well, let's do 60.
Okay.
That way, we don't have to come back if it comes up to 52 or something
Yeah.
like that. We got to do this again. Okay, so we got a motion made and seconded. We call a roll.
Member Wills? Yes. Member Morrow?
Yes.
Member Miller?
Yes.
Member Marshall?
Yes.
Member Gammas?
Yes.
Member Copta?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. And we have one less
Okay.
house.
One last case. Okay, so this is, if you go to the next slide, it has to do with Senate Bill 954. This is a law that was signed by the governor back in June, and it requires local governments to adopt an ordinance recognizing certified recovery residences and providing a process to apply for reasonable accommodations, which I'll explain in a minute, from land use regulations to operate a certified recovery residence. This is required to be adopted by local governments before January 1st, so we're right on time. And then if you go to the next slide, the items that are required to be changed in your code are the following. So we've added a couple of definitions, a definition of recovery residence and a definition of certified recovery residence. And these are all in the statute, in the state statute. So it tells us exactly what it has to say. And so it's a residential dwelling unit, and the community housing component of a licensed day or night treatment facility with community housing and other form of group housing, which is offered or advertised through any means, including oral, written, electronic, or printed means, by any person or entity as a residence that provides a peer-supported, alcohol-free, and drug-free living environment. And then a certified recovery residence is a recovery residence that holds a valid certificate of compliance and is actively managed by a certified recovery residence manager. We did not make these up. This is in the state statute. So if you go to the next slide, okay, so right. So there's another definition of reasonable accommodation, and basically, I'm not going to read it all. Basically, a reasonable accommodation reasonable accommodation is, for example, if someone is handicapped and they need a ramp, normally they would need to get either a variance or, depending on the situation, they would need to come before you. In this case, in a certified recovery residence, they would not need to do that. It would just be approved. So that's a reasonable accommodation for someone that needs whatever accommodation they would need. So on the next slide, we are also adding language in section 2.0208 of your code, which makes the language consistent with the requirements of Senate Bill 954. And so we've added that section 2.0208 to the adult family care home and family daycare home and family foster home. And the language includes the process for applicants seeking reasonable accommodation from land use regulations for certified recovery residences. It's pretty lengthy, which is why it's not here. So on the next slide, we're adding that language to your table of uses. As you can see, they're permitted in all of the residential R1AA all the way through R3. And then on the next slide are your motion options. And again, this is required by state law, and but it does need to go to the city council also for 2 hearings like everything else.
I'll open the public hearings. Anybody have any questions on this? It's quite lengthy.
We had the first hearing at city council already on this.
Sorry. That's right. I wasn't here for that one. Right. So it's already been the first reading of city council, so it'll go to the second reading of city council.
So we get a second.
So you get it's because of the time constraint, because of when it had to be. I mean, I don't know what the.
It has to be adopted by the end of the year.
Yeah. Right. It
Got
had to.
it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm not sure what the penalty was or is, but might as well try. So, I'm sorry. 4 to 1.
4 to 1, right there. Right there. 4 to 1.
But it's required by state law, so.
Yeah, it's right there. Does anybody have any questions? I'll close the public hearing. I'll entertain a motion from the board.
I'll move the planning and zoning board forward with the proposed text amendments to the Unified Land Development Code to the city council with a recommendation of approval.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Call the roll, please.
Member Wills? Yes. Member Morrow?
Yes.
Member Miller?
Yes.
Member Marshall?
Yes.
Member Gamez?
Yes.
Member Kopka?
Yes.
Very good. Does anybody else have any business come before this board? Any further business? If none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
So moved. Thank you all for coming.